And still to come, we'll hear about an exhibition of the largest ever collection of work by world-renowned British sculptor Henry Moore.
Good morning to you. Now, the largest ever collection of artworks owned by world-renowned British sculptor Henry Moore will go on display at Kew Gardens this weekend.
The exhibition includes 30 large-scale works installed throughout the gardens, as well as a collection of rarely seen models and sketches inside Kew's iconic Victorian glass house.
Our reporter Graham Satchell has been talking to Henry Moore's daughter, Mary, ahead of the opening.
In amongst the trees and flowers at Kew Gardens, the most extraordinary collection of works by Henry Moore. He is considered to be the greatest British sculptor of the 20th century.
There's something really attractive about the organic nature of his works. He's thinking about nature, he's thinking about these forms that you encounter every day and blowing them up into this great scale. Such a significant British artist whose work is internationally significant, which is really special.
The sculptures are enormous, abstract, strikingly modern, and yet they seem to fit in the landscape somehow as naturally as the trees.
This is how Moore wanted his works to be seen, out in the elements, and he was determined that as many people as possible should be able to see them.
Sculptures often started as much smaller models or maquettes made in this studio in the grounds of the Hertfordshire farmhouse where Moore spent the second half of his life. His home is extraordinary. On the kitchen wall, a Picasso, who was a friend of Moore's and an influence on him. In the living room, primitive art, thousands of years old, a Rodin and a collection of shells and stones.
My father walked around the end of his life holding a stone in his hand and turning the stone around. He kind of became a human scanner, you know, in that he kind of experienced form and shape. He internalized it but also analysed it.
One can learn from all sorts of natural forms, such as these. Take, for instance, this stone.
In the 1950s, the BBC made the first in a series of programmes about Moore. It explored his influences from primitive art and found objects like stones to abstraction and modernism. Moore's creative process always started with a sketch. Then he would make a small model in clay and plasticine, then a full-size plaster model built up slowly with layer after layer, and eventually a mould for casting the sculpture in bronze.
A sculptor makes a fantastic father because they're at home all the time. They're in like an enormous art room. It's as though you're at school and you've got access to the art room all the time. But in the art room, as well as paint and powder, there are very dangerous things, like lovely sharp, you know, knives and saws and files. So it's also a very dangerous place, a place of adventure and excitement. I would definitely recommend them as fathers.
As well as his sculptures, Kew Gardens is also displaying some of Moore's other works, including some of the sketches he made of people huddled together in the underground in the Blitz, known as the shelter drawings. Moore served in the First World War, an experience his daughter says changed him forever.
During that war, he ceased to believe in God. I know he did because I've seen letters. And he saw a lot of horrible things. And I think that the shelter drawings, in a way, they're the dead. So I think those drawings are extraordinary. He was never a person to express despair. But what he is certainly expressing is, you know, the darkness of life and the lightness of life, and the two compensate and interact. This is very, very, very serious for breakfast.
I'm quite a serious person, but so that's fine by me.
I don't know if it's fine by anybody else having their breakfast.
I don't care about you.
Surely no better time for light and shade. There are recurring motifs in Moore's work, the mother and child. The reclining figure, sometimes a woman, sometimes thought to be a fallen soldier. Love and death, the most enduring themes in all art.
I think if you're able to look at sculpture and take away a kind of feeling from it. I think it is about the human condition. It's about what it is to be human. I think human nature is kind of what he's exploring in his sculpture.
Well, there will be a lot of people who won't be able to get to the exhibition itself, so a little glimpse like that and hearing some of the background to it is fascinating.
Really good stories behind the art, isn't there?